So when you look at any great film, you'll notice a stylistic consistency running through every single image, a cohesive visual language that ties each shot to the next. Now that consistency doesn't happen by accident, of course. Behind it is a deliberate creative vision established long before the camera ever rolls, and the tool that kicks off this creative visual process and helps filmmakers establish their story's visual identity before production even begins is often the mood board. So inside Stencil, we can create mood boards by clicking on this link that says Media References in the sidebar here. Now on this page, I already have some mood board images created, but if you're new to Stencil, you'll need to add your first mood board by clicking on this button here. And then from here, we can select if we want to use the built-in AI image generation tool, or if we would rather upload our own reference images. So to begin, I'm just going to click on this option for upload images here, and then I'll add my image details here. So I'll begin by adding my reference image title here, and then next I'll upload my image. Now what's really helpful about the next step is that Stencil automatically describes, tags, and references any colors in the uploaded image. And if the AI gets anything wrong, or you want to describe the image manually, or you just want to add extra details, you can do that here. Now it's really helpful to thoroughly describe and tag your mood board images. And the reason being is that if we save this image here, you'll notice that we're brought back to our main reference image or mood board page here. Now, over many months or years, you'll likely have added many reference images to this catalog here. So within Stencil, the good news is that you can use this search bar here to search for images by title, keywords, tags, shot type, descriptions, and even colors. Okay, but one really important thing to keep in mind here is that when we are on our main studio dashboard page here, so for example, where we see all of our projects, everything you see in the sidebar here are global or project-wide studio assets. So think about them at the time of creation anyway as belonging to the film studio. Now to assign these reference images as mood board images to a specific project, we first need to click on any of our projects over here on the main dashboard page. So now I'm in this specific project, and from here, of course, I can do things like communicate with my cast and crew, share news about this specific production, and even write and optimize my story. But another thing that we can do here is we can create a mood board that is specific to this project. So to do this, from here, what we'll do is we'll look for this option in the sidebar called Media Reference Library. Now, the main difference between this Media Reference Library and the one that we just created is that this one allows us to create a mood board specifically for this project and this project alone. Now, if you run a film or video production company, it's not uncommon to use mood board images or reference images across multiple projects. So by first adding our reference images to our account at the studio level, we can now drill into any project and then apply those reference shots as mood board images to any specific project within our catalog. So in this case, what I'll do here is I'll click on this button here to add reference images. But now what you'll notice is that the reference image options here are simply being pulled in from our studio's main reference image library. So in short, when you want to add reference images, you can do so over on your main studios page. But when you want to apply those images to a specific project, you do that by simply searching for them here. So this allows us to create customized mood boards and shot reference libraries for each of our projects. So for example, you could create separate mood boards for your YouTube videos, for your feature films, for your documentaries, for your music videos, and so on. Also, let's imagine that this project that I'm on right now is a feature film project. Now, if I deleted an image from this mood board here, it only unlinks it from this specific project. It doesn't delete it from my studio's global reference image library. So even if I remove it here, I can still reuse this image on another project at another time. Now, another really cool thing within Stencil is that not only can you create mood boards, but you can also tie these mood board images directly to an individual shot from your shot list. So for example, now that I have these mood board images associated with this project, I can now link them as reference images to individual shots. So let me show you how this works. Now let's imagine that you've just finished writing your scene here. And now you might want to start sketching out how the words on the page will translate into images on the screen. So you might not have storyboard images or location images yet. Perhaps all you have is a rough idea and you're just going to stitch together your visual story from your reference images or your mood board images or even just AI images. Well, that's actually a really great place to start because it allows you to start piecing together how your script will play out on screen. So to add shots and images to this scene, all we need to do is we need to click on this add button here. And then what we'll do is we'll click on this reference tab. Okay, and then from here, what we'll do is we'll click on Library. Now, because we've added the reference images from our global reference image library into this specific project, the images that we added will now show up here. And now we can select the image that we want to represent the first shot within the scene. Now, just to demo how this works, I'll just select this image here, and then I'll name my shot, and then I'll just save my work here. Now, it's important to ensure that you have reference selected from this drop down here, because each shot can actually have multiple images associated with it. So for example, we could edit this shot by clicking on this icon here, and then we could add location photos, storyboard images, or even production stills once we have them. So back on our main writing page here, as long as reference image is selected, we'll see our reference images show up as our scene images here. And we can continue this process by simply adding more shots. Now, in the end, this little shot list here will allow us to preview our scene as our audience will experience it on screen. And this is a really cool thing about Stencil, because historically, storytelling software has been kept separate from storyboarding software. But in Stencil, we've changed that by visually placing your story's images closer to your script. This way, you'll be able to see how your words translate into images, and you'll be able to see how your story unfolds from your audience's point of view. Now, keep in mind that you can also move the order of your images around by simply dragging and dropping them here. You can also click on each image to view a larger version of that image, and you can click on this little icon here to expand this text box, which will allow you to add the parts of your script associated with this image. It's kind of like using animatics to start editing your film before you even start shooting. So this tutorial was really just meant to give you a very top level overview of how to use image references and storyboards within Stencil. So I hope you found this enjoyable, and if you want to take this software for a spin yourself, you can find a link to Stencil in the description below. So that's all I have for you. Thanks for stopping by today.